I used a smaller crochet needle to make this little simple piece here, but then it fell out and I didn't want to go back up to find it, and so I thought, well, I'll use the 5.5, what I've been using this morning. So we'll see if that works. It's a little big to get into those stitches, but we'll make it work. This is just for fun. Sometimes I have multiple projects going at the same time, and then going into fall and winter, then I will focus on one and complete one, and then move on to the next. I've done baby blankets and blankets for family and friends. This is just a regular yarn here. Let me see here. I don't know if I have. No, I don't. Thought maybe I had the little. This is off my other yarn, but I don't have a tag for this one. But it's a real thin style yarn. It's soft, but it's not like the velvety soft yarn that I buy to make baby blankets. And this is all tangled, so I'm not going to get very far unless I untangle it. Hope you all are having a nice day. It's getting a little bit on the cooler side where I live. And my little doggy's enjoying it. I'll at least get this untangled here real quick, like, because I'm not going to get very far if I don't. I thought I would come on here for 20 or 30 minutes just to work on my little sample crochet stitches here. This is the waffle stitch, and I was doing a double crochet in the waffle stitch earlier this morning. In the waffle stitch you have a double crochet, so I thought maybe I'd show you just a double crochet only, which I've made blankets out of that, and that's pretty simple stitch. You could make a whole blanket out of that pretty easily, and then you can use that once you practice the double crochet. You can use that in your waffle stitch to make your waffle blanket. And I have tutorials with the instructions on how to make the whole waffle blanket. Let's see if I can get this undone here easily. Hope you guys are having a nice day. Thank you for watching. If anybody's in here, I don't always see my comments or anything because I'm focused on what I'm doing, but I appreciate you being here. There we go. Yeah, we got it. So let's see. Normally I have a smaller needle for this. You see how tiny those stitches are, but my needle must have fallen out when I was getting out my crochet. So instead of looking for it, I just use what I've been using this morning and several days, 5.5 millimeter, and then we'll see how that works. Probably make the stitches a lot bigger for the next row, but here we go. So they call these posts, that you go around the post and then you do a double crochet. And then in this one, you go in this hole at the top, double crochet into that. Yeah, it's a little tighter fit there to get it in there. And then around the post. I'll do a row and then we'll look at it and see what it looks like. I like this color. I was doing the double crochet this morning with this, and it's more of a velvety yarn. This is not so, it's still kind of soft. You could still make it into a baby blanket, but I unfortunately don't have the label on there, so I don't know what the style is or lot number or the exact color. But Hobby Lobby, Michaels, Joann's sell the softer velvety type yarn that you could use for a baby blanket. This seems so tiny, the thread, compared to what I was using this morning. A lot thinner. This other's thick. Doesn't look too big, but I definitely can tell the stitches are bigger. So this row is a double crochet in the one and then 2 around the post. And then it'll be opposite on the other side. And there's a little hole at the top. These are good fall and winter projects, especially when you can't go outside if it's cold in your area. Or sometimes you just need to fiddle with something in the evening to kind of unwind. This definitely helps with keeping you calm and focused. Helps with anxiety. Even if you're not making anything, just practicing or just fooling around, you can just make a small little square like that and just practice. Helps you unwind at night. I've been recovering, had surgery recently, so spending a lot of my days either decorating cakes or cupcakes or crocheting. I knit too, but I'm not as good at knitting. I'd love to learn how to quilt. I've done a few quilts just teaching myself, watching YouTube videos, and I've done a couple little baby blankets, but I'm not, they're not that great. So I would love to actually take a real class. And if you forget, you just go back, take out your stitch, go back to the starting point. Then you have 2 that you go around the post with a double crochet. Crochet's to me easier than knitting. If I pull off my stitches up from a knitting needle, I'm so lost how to get them back on. With crochet needle, it just comes out and you're back to your one main stitch. A lot easier for me to put it back on, or start from where I previously was. So then you just do a double crochet to that little stitch behind, and then 2 around these posts. You go from under in the front. You do your double crochet that way. Then I'll go back to the other waffle blankets here in a minute, the bigger ones. So you can kind of see, this is hard because I have a bigger needle for a smaller stitch. Oops, sorry about that. I can't recall if I used a 3 or 4 on this little blanket here. Oops, you see what I did? So instead of going around the post, I went in the top. Can't always talk and do what I need to do at the same time. So let me start over. Okay, I went back to, here I am, second post. I'm going to go around with a double crochet. And then that little one behind it, go in the top and do a double crochet. And then 2 around the post here. And then of course when I turn my work, I'm going to do the opposite. We'll do 2 little stitches and then 1 around the post. With delicate yarn like this, sometimes it has several little strands, and you can separate them as you're pulling your needle through. See if I can get that. Here we go. Almost to the end. Then I'll turn the works to show you, and then I'll work on the other one here in a minute. Oops. Sometimes my fingers get to going so fast. It's just like like they're thinking for themselves. And there's 2. I started crocheting with my mom when I was just a little kid, probably, I don't know, 9 or 10. Made my first little blanket, and then I just continued on. So I'd say about 40 years, maybe. Something you can pick up, in the maybe fall or winter months, you don't have a whole lot to do in the evenings. And then put it down, in the summer. I don't pick it up for months sometimes, and then go back to it. It is relaxing now. I just sit out here on the porch swing and listen to the wildlife, the animals, and my little puppy's snoring over there. I don't know if you can hear her. It's a great pastime though. And then you can teach your kids or grandkids. Gives you something fun to do together. And then we're getting to the end here. 2 around the post. And then you end with 3 double crochets. I don't know if you can see that or not. There's 1. These are so tiny, these stitches. And then 2. And 3. Just at the top of that. As close to the top as you can in one of those stitches. Oh shucks, get in there. There we go. Then once you're finished, you chain 3 and turn your work. And this is what it looks like on the other side, which I think is so cool. I love that waffle stitch. And then I'll just do a couple little stitches here. Now you see, here's the post. There's 1, and then the 2 stitches behind it, and then another post stitch, 2 behind it. So the first stitch you're going to go through is this. It'll be like the second, looks like the second stitch, but it'll technically be your first. It'll go in the top, and then your post stitch, double crochet, and then the top of the next 2 that sit behind it. Sometimes you have to pull it apart to see, but you'll go through the top stitch. Oops. And then your post. So it'll go in front and do a double crochet. I'll show you the double crochet is just, you wrap your yarn and you take it down into the top of that next stitch. You grab your yarn, pull it through, grab your yarn again. You're going to take off 2, grab your yarn, take off the other 2. And that is a double crochet. There's that. And then, let's see if I can, oh, I just lost my yarn ball, just went down on the porch. Okay, this is the waffle blanket with the velvety yarn. And it's a bigger stitch with a bigger needle here, 5.5. I don't know if you can see real well on the camera or not, but you've got those 2 stitches here in the back. Then you have your post that you'll go in the front. Put these in the back. You'll chain and go through the top of the stitch. You grab your yarn, and then you're going to take off 2 and then take off 2. Grab your yarn, go into the top, grab your yarn, going to take off the first 2 and then the last 2. And then you're going to go around the post here. You're going to do a double crochet again. So you're going to wrap your yarn, go in the front, wrap your yarn, pull it through, take off 2, and take off 2. You're going to go. Go in here. And go around the post. And these are just basically all double crochets, just used a little differently. Double crochet in the top of these 2 stitches here, and then a double crochet around this post in the front. And it makes it stand out a little bit. So as you can see, kind of looks like a waffle. And there's the back. These are so soft. Like I said, I've made them for babies, grandchildren, friends, and they're warm, fuzzy, comfortable, washes really well. You can add a different, like once I get finished, then I put a different border. And sometimes I'll do just like a single stitch around, maybe twice or 3 times in white or a different color. You can do anything you want, whatever your favorite or theme or, baby room. Just pick the colors and then mix and match. You can actually do different colors throughout your stitches as well. Just have fun with it. Getting creative. And really, if you mess up, you just pull out your stitch and you go again. Sometimes you're doing this and then you are thinking about other things. So pretty soon you're at the end of your row and you realize, oh no, I've done what I should have done on the back. So I had to rip the rows out, pay a little bit more attention. But even then, it's not a big deal. You're not going to hurt anything. Just pull it out, start over. It's real forgiving. to the stitches at the top. I don't know if you can see those really well, but just a double crochet into the top of these stitches here. So you wrap your yarn once, go down into the hole at the top of that stitch, you grab your yarn, and you'll have like three loops there. You're going to take off 2, 1, 2, and then you'll take off the last 2. And then you'll go on to this next hole here with a double crochet. And then you're going to go around the post in the front. And then go around the post, and the last 2 stitches on here will be just a double crochets, 2 double crochets, and then chain 3 and turn your work. It looks a little different, but still looks kind of cool. It's very soft. This side's a little bit different. You start off with your 2 double crochets here in the back. These 2 that sit back a little bit. I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of dark, the yarn. They sit back, and you'll do 2 double crochets there, and then you're going to go around these 2 posts. That's your first part, and then it'll be 1 and 2 on this side. 1 double crochet in the back, and then 2 posts in the front, and then 1 and 2. But at the beginning here, it'll be a 2 and 2. So you wrap your yarn, and you kind of skip this row here on the end. You're going to go into the top of the stitch, grab your yarn. You're going to take off 2 stitches there, and then the last 2. Take those off. And then you can kind of see that pretty good, I think. Grab your yarn, go in the top of that stitch, take off 2, and take off the other 2. And this is the post. You're going to go around that with a double crochet. And the second. Here it is. And that's what it looks like on the other side. crochet in the back, a stitch in the back, and the double crochet around these 2 posts. And then again, double crochet in that little stitch in the back. So basically they're all just double crochets, but just placed differently. Now this one that I've been working on is just all double crochets, the whole blanket. Same stitch, but different, placed differently. Some you pull forward, which makes it look like the waffle stitch, and these are just straight across. And then, yeah, and you can do that. It's pretty simple stitch, and makes a nice blanket, especially when you're learning. And like I said, you can take it out real easily. If you feel like you've messed up or you're not sure where you are. Oops, tangled up here. But anyway, I will let you all go. Thank you again for joining, and I hope to see you in the morning.